Okay,
No, not yet.
and then we're gonna get ready to call the meeting. We're up to film. All right, like to call today's meeting to order for May 16th, 2018, 7 PM, our town board meeting. If we could stand for the pledge. Bob, you want to lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And at this time, I'll turn it over to Jim.
Yes, we'd like to recognize those in our community who lead us in our invocation, and we're very proud to have with us tonight Kathy Bresney, who's been a longtime member of the Lady Auxiliary and is a chaplain to the Riverhead Fire Department.
Thank you. As we gather on this spring evening to recognize one of the hallmarks of our democracy, the election of citizens to serve their community as faithful servants to the needs of their fellow citizens, we ask your blessing, dear Lord, on all who have gathered here this evening. The work that is to be done to make the growing town of Riverhead a good place to live and work rests not just with this council, but each resident. May we never lose sight of the need to serve as the town honors so many who have put community before self to help strengthen this place that we call home. Oh, dear God, bless our supervisor and council as they begin a new year of work for the town of Riverhead. May the quality of life improve for all of our residents and visitors to the center of the fork between the north and south shores. In your everlasting name, Lord, we do ask your presence and blessings on us. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kathy.
And now can I have a first and second to accept the minutes of May 1st, 2018? Approval and accept the minutes.
Motion.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tim.
Motion.
Second?
Accept the minutes.
Vote, please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
The minutes are approved. Should I just go right into?
Yes, please, the
agenda
reports.
items? Okay. Under reports, the tax receiver, their total tax collection to date as of May 9th is $96,030,445.80. Tax receiver utility collection report for April is $283,044.93. Town clerk.
Diana, did you miss the second? Because it looks like there's one on the 2nd and the 9th.
Yep, I usually just do the one.
Okay,
just
that's
as,
fine.
you
Okay.
know, I put them on there.
Yep, okay, that's what I was just wondering.
Town clerk, April 2018 monthly report is $10,425.09. The 2017 annual financial report was submitted, and also the Justice Court Independent Accountants Report. Under correspondence, we had a letter from Bob Johnson thanking probably the Highway Department for sidewalk snow removal this past winter. There were 7 letters in response to the Q&E hearing for Calverton Aviation and Technology. There were 2 letters regarding issues, and I think we did receive a 3rd letter, to neighboring buildings from the building construction on East Main Street in Riverhead. We have parade applications. The Combined Veterans is having their annual Memorial Day Parade on May 28th. And the Riverhead Community Awareness Program, that's known as CAP, their annual Say No to Drugs March, and that's June 1st. And that is it.
Thank you very much. And so now the time is 7:07. We have a public hearing tonight, which is a public hearing for the purpose of the proposed increase and improvement of the facilities of the Riverhead Water District, specifically the construction of a new groundwater storage tank at plant number 15 on Tuttle's Lane in Riverhead, New York, at the maximum cost of $4,300,000. We have Mark Conklin here and John Collins from Mark Conklin is from our district here, and then we have John Collins as a representative from H2M. So if you'd like to come up and address the public hearing.
Good evening. John Collins from H2M with Mark Conklin from Riverhead Water District. As this resolution states, that we are here to ask your approval to increase the expenditures on the ground storage tank at Plant 15 from $3.4 million to $4.3 million. If you recall, we were here in March of 2017 asking for approval on 3 projects, totaling a grand total of $5.512 million. Now that the 2 of the projects are done and we're in the process of the 3rd one, we need to ask the board's permission to increase the bonding by $75,000 total. So from 5.512 to $5.76 million.
Okay, does anybody from the board have any questions?
We discussed in a work session, so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Does anybody from the public wanted to come up and address the board in the public hearing? Seeing nobody, then I will close the public hearing, but leave it open for written comment until Friday, May 25th.
Thank you very
So,
much.
thank you very much.
Like $5 million.
Clean water's important. So can I have a first and second to close the town board meeting and to move into our CDA meeting?
Do you want to hear about resolutions for a second?
We'll do this and then we'll do the resolution.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we close the town board meeting and open up the Community Development Agency meeting. So moved.
Okay, I'll turn it over to Dawn.
Who's second?
Oh, first and second to
Who's second?
I did.
Catherine.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And vote,
Had to
please.
Squeeze it in.
Sorry.
Do you want me to do the vote? Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
The CDA meeting is now open.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. Tonight we have resolution number 7, which authorizes the chairman to execute a license agreement with the East End Disability Associates, Inc. for property located at River Road, Calverton, and known as the Henry Pfeiffer Community Center.
So moved.
Second.
Moved into, oh, go ahead, Dawn, you go ahead.
Vote, please. Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes,
The resolution was adopted. Concludes the business of the CDA.
thank you very much. And can I also have a first and second to close the CDA meeting and to move in, back into the town board meeting?
Motion. Close.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten.
Mm,
Oh, come on.
yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
The town board meeting is now reopened.
Okay, at this time, I ask anybody from the public that would like to come up and address any of the resolutions to please come forward.
Sal Mastropolo, Calverton. Resolution 360, the second page, the second resolved.
I'm
The
sorry,
sixth,
360?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
page 2, the second resolve, the 6th line down. Add the word Riverhead after town of, before from CDBG.
It's on the second page.
Is it the second result or the third?
The third result.
The
It's
third.
actually the third
The
result.
third result, okay.
Third resolve, sorry.
And it's the
Oh, did-
sixth sentence where it says
Oh, I
dollars to
see.
be provided by the town of, and there's a gap.
Okay,
So it should be town of Riverhead.
got it.
Okay.
Resolution 379. My first question is insurance paying the bill, or is the town paying the bill?
That would be the town.
Okay, then the next question is, wouldn't we be better off scrapping it and buying a new one? The thing is 10 years old already.
The purchase of a new one, I think was, John, was it 265 or 245?
250 and a remount would cost 150.
Right, so, and apparently the remount is pretty much coming in as new, and it's saving over, $100,000. So the decision was made to do the remount on it, which is what we've done with the past couple that we've
They've
had.
done these before.
Yeah,
And the ambulance corps has been very happy with the turnout,
Okay,
with the
And-
production of them.
and the life expectancy of the remount is the same as the other ones.
thank you. Resolution 385. Well, actually, it's 384 and 385. Aren't the taxes due by May 10th? I don't understand why we're hiring 2 temporary part-time clerks in the tax receiver's office through June 29th. I would think that most of the tax work is done by the third week in May, actually the second week in May.
I do not know the exact paperwork. Bill, do you want to address that, that follows up after they've received everything?
I know there's a lot more than just collecting the money.
Yeah.
Notices that go out.
We'll let Bill in.
Tax collection ends on May 31st. They keep it a week later for senior citizens, and then they have to report to the county everything they've collected, and it takes them a couple of weeks to gather that up and send a report to the county.
Thank you.
Mr. Dallas,
Okay, thank you.
Takes a long time to count all that money.
Did anybody else want to address the board? Seeing nobody, we'll move on to resolutions.
Okay. Resolution 345.
2018 CHIPS Road Resurfacing Grant Budget Adoption. So moved.
Was on seconding that
Yes.
when I get to it?
Jody was quick.
I'm still,
How did you get back so fast?
Control room.
I'm still trying to open this up.
Like an old dog, teach me new tricks. I second that.
Now, which one was that? Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
I think it's important to point out that he underspent by $12 that account last year, so that rolled over to this year, so that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I vote yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 346.
2018 EWR Road Resurfacing Grant Budget Adoption. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 347.
2018 paved New York Road Resurfacing Grant Budget Adoption. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 348.
1871 Old Country Road Water Service Installation for the Water District Capital Project 30148. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 349.
1377 Pulaski Street, Water Main Extension, Water District Capital Project Number 30149. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 350.
Riverhead Sewer District Chemicals Budget Adjustment. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 351.
Round 13 Downtown Revitalization Grant Project Number 44035 for the installation of LED lighting. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 352.
It appoints a student intern to the accounting department. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 353.
Riverhead Water District Capital Project, Water Main Installations and Appurtenances, Budget Adjustments. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 354.
Authorizes the execution professional services agreement with Business Automation Services, or BAS, for planning and building, workflow, and freedom of information law modules. So moved.
Seconded?
Everybody seconds that.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 355.
Round 15 Downtown Revitalization Grant Project Number 44035 for the installation of LED lighting. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
I just want to make sure it wasn't leaking. Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, and this is from Jamesport Civic Association, had worked with our community development agency to go for the downtown revitalization grant, and they'll be putting the new lights in downtown Jamesport, so Very nice, and I hope some of the other hamlets will come through if they need some, with their civics, if they need some work done in their hamlets to apply for those grants.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 356.
It authorizing removal of fixed asset records from the system. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 357.
Appoints an account clerk typist. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 358.
Assumes lead agency, issues declaration of significance, and grants excavation importation permit as provided by Chapter 229 to West Rack Contracting Corp., 3651 Middle Country Road, Calverton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-117-02-009.02. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 359.
Authorizes funding application to New York State for Downtown Revitalization Initiative. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 360.
This supports, endorses, and authorizes pursuit of the Suffolk County Downtown Revitalization Round 16 funding for reconfiguration of downtown parking lot north side of Main Street, First Street lot. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
No.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yeah, and I just want to say, I want to thank Tim Hubbard because he's been the liaison to the parking district and then also to the business improvement district. And at Thursday's work session, we were coming up $15,000 short, and Tim made the call to Georgia Green, who is building the apartment building in downtown Riverhead, who's short parking spaces, and asked him for the additional $15,000, and he agreed to donate it to the town for the parking purposes on the north side of the street. So, good thinking, and thank you, Georgia Green, for the extra money, and we'll be adding, I think, another 67 spots on the north side behind the old Woolworth building and behind the Suffolk Theater.
And Wooten.
Yes.
Okay. Wooten.
Yeah, I can understand where Catherine's coming from. I think the reconfiguration is important. I think there's a lot of valuable space that's lost due to the original design of that. But there are some things down there that we'd like to see. So I don't think they have a final design. I think it could still be worked where we could still keep some of the greenery and
Correct.
make it somewhat not a big open parking lot.
Right.
Especially coming out of the church, and I'm a little biased that way. So, so I'll vote yes as long as we're going with the design.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 361.
Reappoints a temporary student intern 2 to the engineering department. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 362.
Accept skid steer donation from highway to buildings and grounds. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 363.
Terminates a leave of absence and ratifies the reappointment of a part-time police officer to active duty status. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, and we welcome Joseph and Matthew aboard.
I think Matthew's gonna be appointed.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 364.
Appoints a seasonal water treatment plant operator. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 365.
Establishes standard workday for elected officials. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Resolution is only 30 hours a week.
That's 30 days a month.
Oh, it's 30, yeah.
It's 30 days a month, yeah. Resolution 366.
Transfers and account clerk typist, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes,
Wooten,
I know.
Boy, this really forced me. Yes, for now.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 367.
Transfers and account clerk typist, so moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes,
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 368.
This classifies action and requests lead agency status for SECRA review of the special permit, site plan, and zoning board of appeals applications for the expansion of the Real Life Church of Wading River, 29 Dogwood Drive, Wading River, New York. Suffolk County tax act numbers 672-2-7 and -8. So moved.
second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes,
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 369.
adopts a local law to amend chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Zoning and Land Development, and this has to do with site plan application procedures and fees. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes,
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, and this increases the cost for, to come in for a site plan application if you start the work prior to starting the process with the town.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 370.
Awards bid for townwide printing, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
yes,
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 371.
Set salaries for 2018 summer personnel for the Riverhead Recreation Department, so moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
yes,
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 372.
And this marries that one. This is,
No, these are the, I think it's 372 and 373 that are together.
okay. Well, this amends resolution 232, but I mean, as far as clarifying the salaries.
Right, right.
And I get to move and second this one according to this.
Oh,
You do.
So, this amends resolution 232, so moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes,
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 373.
amends resolution number 233. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes,
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 374.
Authorization to publish advertisement for snack vendors for the town of Riverhead, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
yes,
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 375.
Reappoints member to the Board of Assessment Review, so moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
yes,
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 376.
This approves settlement, so moved. Hello?
Seconded? Moved and seconded, vote
Second.
please.
I'll second.
Okay.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes,
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 377.
approves El Graziosi Plumbing and Heating Incorporated as drain layer for the Riverhead Sewer District. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes,
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 378.
Authorizes commencement of litigation to recover payment of amounts due under pilot agreement, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
yes,
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 379.
Authorizes emergency ambulance repair, so moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
yes,
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 380.
This appoints members to Downtown Revitalization Committee, so moved.
second,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Well, I'd like to say that I'm very excited to get this committee rolling. We had an overwhelming response from within our community to be on this committee, and it was difficult to not appoint everybody, but I'm very pleased to get started, and I think it's going to go well. I vote yes.
Hubbard,
Just to piggyback what Councilwoman Kent said, this reads as a who's who of people from the town of Riverhead that have a vast amount of experience and I think are really gonna do a fantastic job in the revitalization committee downtown, so absolutely yes.
Giglio,
Ditto, yes.
Wooten,
Love it when people come in together and get their fingers wet. I love it. Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yep, I think this is a committee that was a long time need for it, so I'm very happy for them to get up and started, so absolutely yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 381.
Ratifies the authorization for Lawrence M. Levy to provide additional audio-visual production services for the Board of Assessment Review hearing on May 15th, 2018. So moved.
Seconded,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 382.
Ratifies authorization for the supervisor to execute an amended agreement with G&G Technologies Incorporated regarding cablecast services. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 383.
Authorizes an agreement with Granicus for a legislative management software license solution. So moved.
Yes. Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
I am very excited to have the town clerk's office moved into the 21st century, so, yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 384.
This appoints a temporary part-time clerk to the tax receiver's office. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 385.
Ratifies the appointment of a temporary part-time clerk to the tax receiver's office. So moved.
Seconded,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 386.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement with D&B Engineers and Architects PC. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 387.
Pays bills. So moved.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, that one's probably the long one.
Second. Yeah, I was up to look. Make sure you. Yes, I second.
Second, okay, moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yeah, make sure there's nothing in here for me. Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
So then can I have a first and second? I think you guys have received this prior to take resolution off the floor to authorize an application to DASNY for $50,000 in SAM funding for improvements to Columbus Avenue property for Day Haven Adult Daycare Program.
I move that we take the resolution off the floor. So moved.
I'll second the removal of the floor.
Moved and seconded to take off the floor, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution, we'll call it Resolution 388, is taken off the floor. Now we'll call Resolution 388.
All right, I'll move it. It authorizes an application to DASNY for $50,000 in SAM funding for improvements to Columbus Avenue property for Day Haven Adult Daycare Program. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes, and thank you to Senator Laval if he helps us get this money.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
At this time, that's all the resolutions.
Oh, we don't have anything on the floor?
Do you have anything else?
I just like to scare you. That's
You
all.
what?
I like to scare you.
Very funny.
I wasn't
I'm
prepared.
like, oh my gosh. At this time, if anybody from the audience would like to come up and address the board on any matter, I ask you to come up and state your name.
Move to adjourn.
Ellen Hoyle. I'm from Riverhead. I'd like to address the town board today concerning a matter involving the Industrial Development Agency. This past week, the Riverhead News Review reported on a recent decision by the Industrial Development Agency involving Twin Forks Brewery. According to the report, the plan involves an 11,500 square foot building being built on 2-acre lot. The abatement they will receive is 2 times the normal practice of the IDA. The board is granting a 10-year, 100% abatement that will reduce annually by 10%. Larry Sims was the only no vote on this abatement. The abatement excludes payment of the following: sales tax on all building material to build the structures, state, county, town, as well as school and fire district taxes. It also excludes county mortgage recording taxes, which at a rate of 0.008% represents $24,000 for every $3 million spent on a mortgage. In determining the amount, the board's own attorney encouraged the owners of Twin Forks Brewery to include the value of the land in their application process. This despite the fact that the land is not owned by them, but is in fact being leased. Overall, this adds up to quite a sum of revenue the town will not see. The schools will lose out, as will the fire district. When questioned about the decision, Tracy Stark James stated that the board was merely following its informal policy to grant double benefits to manufacturing projects. A member of the board, Mr. Bob Kern, used the example of the rate of growth of tourism of Suffolk County between the years 2001 and today in stating a basis for the decision. These two statements are contradictory. Either the project is manufacturing or it is tourism-based. The owners have stated their intention to start their own brewery and create a tasting room, while the owners intend to move from selling 800 barrels per year to 15,000 is noble. Is the loss of revenue today offset by the creation of jobs and or long-term financial reward for the town? On its face, the answer would be uncertain at best. Without performance markers put in place, the value is unknown. The jobs created would have to be long-lasting quality jobs. The amount of tourist dollars brought in would also have to be high and run for a period well past the 10-year mark. The company has been in business for 3 years, contracting through other breweries. Their ability to last that long is uncertain. For this company, such an undertaking is new and untested. The IDA should not base decisions that cost the town so much money on informal policies that are vague at best and unmeasurable at worst. In order for a program such as the IDA to be beneficial, there must be a cost analysis of what we as a town are gaining versus what we are losing. In this latest decision, I don't see that happening. I would ask the town board to help the IDA clarify its policies and practices. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ellen,
Actually, I would
could I
like
get
to
a copy of
I'd
that?
like to see that too.
We did meet with the IDA in the beginning of the year, and we had brought up several issues with them as far as transparency goes, and some of the way that they communicate with the community as far as jobs creations and what they base their numbers on, and to have them be more transparent. And we had set about a 6-month deadline, so we should be meeting with them again over the summer to kind of review some of the questions that we had about transparency.
Okay, I hope this is one of the questions.
I absolutely agree with you
Yeah.
100% that cost analysis should be done. I want to see what we would get outright and what we would get with the abatement. I want to see those comparisons.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
And we've also asked them, and the next, they'll be filming them, so they'll be filmed live also for the IDA meetings now, because they haven't been filmed previously, so people will be able to see what goes on in them also.
Sounds like a good idea. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Ellen, I want to reiterate what my colleague said. We fully understand the community concerns with the IDA, and we're addressing it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Larry Scudder. I reside at 150 Prospect Place, Riverhead, New York, right behind you. I would like to address the board this evening in reference to the construction that's being undertaken on the corner of McDermott Avenue and Main Street. I'm a former trustee of the Riverhead Methodist Church. I was baptized in that church. I was married in that church. I've been a trustee at that church previously, and the amount of damage that we're incurring at the moment on a daily basis is unbelievable. We have a $500,000 organ which is being destroyed. We have the stained glass windows, which have been in place for over 100 years, are now bowing. The steeple is, the possibility that steeple's going to come down with a 2-ton bell on the top of it is real red hot high. And if you haven't been that, thank you for your service to the town of Riverhead, and appreciate all that you have to do. I realize that you have people that work below you or in other departments that are responsible for certain of these things, but what's going on there right now, you know, it's very nice for Mr. Green or Mr. Giglio to put money into parking on the north side of Main Street because he doesn't have enough parking spots where he's building his building. I just wish he'd have nearly the amount of concern to the destruction that he's causing. A historic building, I don't know how many other buildings we have in the town of Riverhead that are 147 years old, but that building's built on a stone foundations. The mortar in that stone foundation is turning into baby powder as we speak. Happens every day, and they're not halfway through. I appreciate the fact.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I mean, we certainly express the same concern that you have, and we have been in contact with the church. We've been in contact with also the attorneys from the church. We've been in contact with the developer also. Our planning department has been down there quite a few times. I've been down to the building, to the church several times and done walkthroughs with Janine there. We are giving them the monitoring reports. They had put in some vibration monitors, and we went back there and asked them to put in additional vibration monitors there, closer up to the surface, as well as to do any, I forget what the other monitor is, crack monitoring on the walls in there. So we've been following very closely. We just checked with Janine today or yesterday to see if there is any additional problems. I know originally there was some cracking in the wall, and
Well,
there were the spider cracks
The
that.
cracking that's happening in the ceiling above the balcony is extensive at this point. I don't know if you're aware, but in the early 1960s, there was a support placed in that church to make sure that the steeple would stay the way that it is. That support is held up with several hydraulic jacks. I don't think that they're viable at this point.
We'll go in, you're raising other issues that we did not address, not that we didn't address before, but you're raising other things to take a look at. So we will have them go back in and take a look at it. We'll have the engineers go back and take a look at it. I know that some of the cracks are like the spider cracks that are going up the walls. Those are obviously are not structural damages, but will have to be mitigated to the church, and the developer has agreed to do that and to fix those cracks. I think part of the issue is sometimes once they start, they kind of continue to travel along, and we're not, from what we're finding right now, according to all the monitors that are in there, that there's not any structural damage, but you are raising other concerns. We will have them go back and look at that. It's not something that we are here, we are available. Any concerns that you bring to us, we go in and check, we go talk to the developer, have them go in and check also. So it is of grave concern to us. It is not something that we're just saying, okay, we'll take a look at it next week. We're going in each and every day that we hear that there's problems. So, we hear what you're saying and certainly are following that. And if anything does change as far as the structural damage go, because they do have a threshold, I forget what it is, whether it's, originally I think it was 0.3, they even lowered that to I think a 0.2. It hasn't gone up to even a 0.1.
Yeah, but that measurement was taken at the base of the foundation,
Right.
which is not where
But
the
that's why
damage is happening.
But they put another monitor in, and they also put the string monitors in upstairs also too.
I understand. I've looked at those as well. I just wish that you would also instruct the building department to take a look at it, because what's going on there now, we're
Yeah,
gonna have a disaster.
We'll go in again. It's not a
I've been
problem.
speaking to the building inspector on a daily basis, who tells me that he's in the building on a daily basis and he's monitoring it, that he brought the engineers there, that the church brought in a stained glass specialist, and that the developer also brought in a stained glass specialist, and a recommendation was made
The
to.
developer did bring the stained glass. The church didn't want them to.
Okay, because the building department told me that they did. And that the recommendation was to sandwich the stone glass so that it wouldn't bow, and that was rejected. So I'm concerned about those stained glass windows falling into the church also. And-
I'm not concerned about the the stained glass windows is one issue. There's a dollar and cents value that can be put on that. That steeple comes down, sports fans, and we got big problems.
Right, and I was also told that they did put in the crack monitoring this past week for the church.
Last
And then
Thursday.
also for Mrs. Daraska's house. So the cracks will be monitored.
Yeah, but this has
and-
been going on for 6 weeks. I mean, this started in March.
I know, I'm told they're halfway through. I'm told they're only
they're
halfway
more
through.
than
The original plan, which I didn't vote for, but the original plan showed a helicoil system, which was, instead of pounding the
They would
piles, it
drill.
was drilling.
And
And-
obviously, it's more expensive to drill.
Yes.
But it's for somebody who can throw 15 grand at the parking lot, you know,
But it was
This-
it was the town board at that time that approved how the building would be put up,
I
so
under- I
it's,
under- I
I'm
understand,
just gonna
but I'm faced with we're faced with a situation. And
Agreed.
what, all we're asking for is, the acknowledgement that you've given, that you're understanding that we've got an issue,
Mm-hmm.
and that this isn't gonna go away soon, because it's being compounded each and every day.
I know.
Larry, I want you to know that we received a lot of correspondence actually about this week. And I believe Shirley told me that they're there on Thursday till 4, is it?
Two.
9 to 2,
Every-
Monday through
every day.
Thursday.
Because I'm gonna try to come by tomorrow. I wanna look at it.
Okay, have her take, because you can see, you can go to the prayer room and see that the ceiling in the prayer room is collapsed onto the floor. But where I'm real concerned about is we got a 2-ton bell at the top of that tower, of that steeple, and
We hear your concern, we'll have somebody go in and take a look at it tomorrow, figure out what to do, and make sure that they have put some measures in place so that it doesn't become an issue.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
we'll certainly have them go in and look at that.
appreciate your response.
Is there anybody else that wanted to address the board?
John McAuliffe from Rolling Woods in Riverhead. I wonder if it is possible to give some kind of a ballpark estimate about where we are on the Q&E for the EPCAL property, when you expect it to come to a vote, and most importantly, how much notice there will be to the town, to the public before the vote actually happens.
Well, we had met and we discussed it. There is a matter pending before the Board of Ethics right now, that complaint that has been lodged, and prior to discussion and vote, we are waiting for the response from the Board of Ethics. We do not have they have been meeting. We do not have a definitive date from them yet. So as soon as we have a definitive date, a decision by them, and then we will schedule after that. I'm hoping that once we have that decision, that we'll have enough time, at least a cycle of 10 days to 2 weeks to notify the public before we have the hearing to decide on the qualified and eligible. So seeing nobody else, can I have a first and second to adjourn?
First and second, how about that?
All right, thank you.
Just because you're the first and second.